Paige. I'm an 8th grader at GLS and for term 2 in ELA class, we had to do a project on reading a book about the Holocaust and then doing a book review on it. So the book I chose was The Boy in the Striped Pajamas by John Boyne, and the reason I chose this book was because I watched the movie trailer a while ago and it seemed like a really good movie, and after reading the book, I realized how much of a good movie it is because the ending is so unexpected and the message overall is so powerful. So basically the book is about a boy named Bruno and his family, including his older sister Gretel, his mother and father, and their maid Maria. They all are living in Berlin in Germany in the time of the Holocaust, and his father is a Nazi soldier and he gets promoted to a higher rank, so he and his family have to move to a place in Germany farther out where there aren't many people. And so basically nobody in the family really likes the new house that they live in because it's such a dramatic difference with 5 floors in their old house and 3 floors in their new house. So Bruno doesn't really have anything to do, so he gets very bored. So one day, out of curiosity, he was looking outside of his window and saw that there was a fence with people behind it that he called strange and wearing striped pajamas. He thought they were all farmers, but eventually he got really bored and he didn't like the house, so one day he snuck out of the house and went to the place and met a boy named Shmuel. He was a Jew and he was in a concentration camp, which the fence turned out to be. And every day he would go over to Shmuel and give him food and talk to him and give him some company, even though he didn't know that he was going through a lot of suffering and pain since he was in a concentration camp. So my favorite part of the book is when Bruno's grandmother stands up for what she thinks is right, even though no one else does. And I really appreciate this because you think when her son is a soldier, she would try to at least go along with it, but she doesn't. She stands up for what she thinks is right. So one day, Bruno and his family and a couple of his father's soldiers that he works with were at a Christmas party, and Bruno's dad's father told him how good he looked in his new suit for his job, and how he was so proud because he was standing up for what he thought was right, which was killing people because they're different. So his grandmother was saying how both of them should be ashamed of themselves for encouraging and performing such bad behavior to what they think is right. And she was really mad that she said that she wonders if all the performances she made her son do made him to this point now about dressing up in a suit and doing what he thinks is right. So after a while they argued a lot, and his father said that he was a patriot, and that's when the grandmother just lost it. She said that they were indeed a patriot, that they would kill someone because they're different and they don't think that they're equal to them. So she said that the people in the house, which were the soldiers, wanted her to make her rip out her own eyeball. She was so ashamed, and how she saw her son in the uniform. So this is why this is my favorite part, because she wanted to stand up for what's right. So she wasn't scared to say what was wrong with what they were doing. So some reasons others might want to read this book is deciphering the author's codes or hints about the Holocaust. An example of that is how Bruno calls his father's boss the Fury, and he describes him with having a tiny mustache. But if you think about it, one person that was in charge in the Holocaust was Adolf Hitler, and he had a tiny mustache. So this was just like a hint about that. Adolf Hitler was the Fury, and since Bruno had such an innocent mind, he would not think of things the way they were. So another reason might be the empowering message that the message has and what it sends about the Holocaust and the bad things that the Nazis did to Jews and other people that weren't perfect Germans. And finally, they might just like reading about the Holocaust and how different kids of the Holocaust, like Germans and Jews, and how they were, treated differently, and how Germans were treated better, and way nicer than the Jews were. So in conclusion, others should read this book, and I really recommend it because it has unique perspective and a very, very wonderful storyline, and especially with the perspective because instead of having, per se, his father talking about it or telling the story, or Shmuel, even since he was the one going through all the pain in the concentration camp. So it really made the story unique in its own way, instead of having the own narrator in another point of view. So it just makes it a different experience than other books might be. So that was my book review on The Boy in the Striped Pajamas by John Boyne. Overall, I really recommend this book. So for now, bye!